Live. Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Let me double check over here to make sure we have sound. I don't like that view. I'm going to switch that. Let's make sure. And I think we do have sound. But am I loud enough? Yes, I am. Yes, we do. So we have a few people here already. Surprising. Sorry I missed last week, but it was what it was. Tonight we may only go for about an hour and a half. We'll see. I got a few things I got to get done tonight, but looks like we have Andrew Humphrey and Snapshot FPV and Jose Ferreira. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, guys. Welcome and thank you for being here. I missed last week. Just so many things on the go, and but I'm back this week, and we'll look at a few things going on this week. Talk about a few issues I've been having. Here, I don't like that. Maybe if I do this camera, there we go. That's a little better. Because I got this one up here. I got a lot of stuff on the bench right now, as you can see. So kind of interferes with that camera. Sound is good. Awesome. Hey, James L. Yeah, I did a video on that new printer last week, and I had a comment on the video saying there was no sound. And I said, yes, there is sound. And then so a week and a half or whatever it was later today, I got the same reply from the same commenter saying, well, it's only in the left and the sound isn't very good. Well, sounded good to me, and it sounded good to everybody I saw that watched it. So good stuff. Hello, Kit. Hello, greetings. And yeah, it is good. I'm glad to be back too, Jose. So let me grab a drink out of my LDO cup. Haha. Lots of water tonight. I'm very thirsty. So I finally got in the beacon probe for the Trident here that we're doing. I printed, it didn't turn out the best, and I think it's something to do with the speed on the bamboo, but I printed a mount for the beacon probe to go on here, which I've got to take the hot end apart a little bit to get that mount on for the beacon probe. I'm probably going to end up ordering another one of these beacon probes for this printer over here, which you can kind of see right over here that it's running. I've been having nothing but trouble getting the 2.4 to go. You see right there that it is running. This is a job for a customer. I kept getting errors. How do you know I am not an AI? You do know that I am not an AI snapshot FPV. If you continue to accuse me of being an AI, I will have to come and destroy you. Sorry. There we go. Been printing parts yourself for one of your Trident builds. Only took you half a year. That's how long it's taken me to do this rebuild. But anyways, the 2.4 you're looking at over there, that's a 300 millimeter. I needed that printer to print this job because I had to print this big piece. Every time it would do quad gantry leveling or bed mesh leveling, it was random and it was hit and miss. I was getting probe something exceeds limits, exceeds pro. Anyways, errors probing. Now, I did post it on the Facebook group, the Voron Facebook group, got a lot of good comments, a lot of good things to try, including tightening my Z belts, making sure that the belt between the motor and the transfer belt for the Zs was tight, making sure that all my probe parts were tight, adjusting the amount of probes it does, the tolerances, etc. And it's still giving me random problems. The only reason it's printing right now, it's purely fluke. It just happened. I lowered the, I had the probe count to take, it was up taking 5 samples. I lowered it to 3 samples. I was still having issues. I lowered it to 2 probe samples. Unfortunately, it worked because the chances of it erroring out on the amount of probe samples, because it's out of the tolerance range, was a lot less on doing 2 probe samples. So fortunately, I got this to work. It's printing the job now, which I have to bring into the office tomorrow for the customer. And yeah, so it is printing, but I do want to get rid of that clicky probe. And I think I want to put a beacon probe on it, because the clicky probe depends a lot on your belts. It depends a lot on any slight and any microscopic movements in your belt, in your Z-axis, in your bed, in your probe parts, whereas the beacon is not going to be as dependent on those things if there's something a little bit loose or if there's something not quite right. So I will likely buy another beacon probe. The kicker is that this thing was printing beautiful for a long time when I first built it, and then it just started this error message thing. So Brent Ferguson, good evening from Texas. Hello, Brent. Does he have 5 fingers and only 2 arms? Does he look like he's looking at the subject and not in the same incorrect direction? Body elements not blending into the background. That's how. That's you can't really tell if I'm an AI. Well, you can, but I did as most of you may know. Hey, Jeff Thorson, as most of you may know, I did the AI voiceover on the video I did on the Windstorm S1. I ran the video itself, portions of the video through where I did the voiceover, and I ran it through the AI software, and it came back in my voice because I sampled my voice for it. And I swear it gives me 5 different accents through the whole video, but it was funny. It was really funny. Check all the screws on the gantry and linear rails. You had problems because some came loose. Okay, I'll do that. I haven't gone through and done that in that much detail, Jose, but I will do that too. Because it is frustrating because it should be working as it is. The probe is tight, the belts are tight. Yeah, I haven't gone through and checked all the screws, which I guess I should because they can vibrate loose, right? So, but lowering the number of samples it takes and lowering my tolerances from 0.007 to 0.002 seemed to do a little bit of, seemed to help it a little bit. I only had to restart this twice in order for it to get through without any errors. So, and as you can see, it's printing the job very well right now. Yeah, this is it printing right now. It's probably got another hour or so to go on it. And in the meantime, and behind me here on the bamboo, I am printing the electrical. I'm printing one of the skirt pieces down here so that I can put the electrical, so I can put the plug in on it. So, but in the meantime, and I also found this. I had this hidden away, and I throw that on there maybe eventually. It's the Nomi from Big Tree Tech, and that's the piece that goes in the hot end here, so it gives you the statuses of your. Anyways, it's just something that I got a while back, and probably a year or more so ago, and I haven't used it yet. So I may go in and it may not. So hey, Additive Adam, happy Sunday. Mark Baker, Chevys only, no Fords allowed. Mark, you're fired. No. Did you like that response to your post there, Mark? The little thing I put there about Chevro, you know what I mean? But hey, Mark, how are you? Glad to see you on my stream. Thank you. Let's see. Kit says screws coming loose. The Chinese manufacturers have a fix for that. Copious amounts of hot glue. No. If I have any screws coming loose on this thing, it's my fault. And what I'll do is I will put some Loctite on them if I do. But I went through. I haven't gone through, as Jose said, and tried to tighten everything. I did snug up my Z belts on it. Let's see. I don't know if this camera will zoom out anymore. Let's see the floor camera. As I say, it's printing really well now since it started printing. And when it does start printing, it prints excellent. But I haven't checked all the screws for complete tightness on this yet, and I should do that. But it hasn't been printing a whole ton, which would tell me that the screws shouldn't come loose. But actually, I haven't checked the bed screws actually in a while. So, but when it's probing, and the issue is that anything moves in the slightest, it's going to throw that error when it's probing, right? So it's going to be screws in the gantry, anything like that could be causing this. But as I say, putting a beacon probe on here will kind of eliminate a lot of that very, very, very fussy stuff that happens with this. But otherwise that's going pretty good. So I don't know what the best view is going to be for this tonight. Maybe actually if I go to this view down here, you can kind of see down on the printer that we're working on. You didn't see it, Mark? You got to go look at it. You guts to go look at it, my friend. Anyways, we hesitated running the, we delayed running the cable bundle here until we got the beacon probe in. Now that I have the beacon probe in, I have to take the hot end off here a little bit and get the beacon probe mount down underneath, wherever it's going to go, under here somewhere. And I'm hoping I don't have to reprint any parts on this. Oh, I just got a part print finished on the bamboo. This is my P1P with the P1S cover on it. There we go. And we just finished the that one piece so that I can put the electrical plug in it. And this is printed in Polymaker Galaxy Silver ABS. So, oh, it's a little bit warm yet. Let's let that cool down. Then we'll pop that off. But in the meantime, we've got to take this head off. And actually, the overhead view might work. Let's see what the overhead view looks like. Oh, it's not bad. But we've got to take this off and fit the beacon probe mount in and then wire the beacon probe down. So I'm not sure how much we'll get done tonight. But anyways, not only vibration, but cycles of warming and cooling. Yes, exactly. There's a lot involved in that, and it's very, very fussy. So we'll just kind of I don't know. We'll switch back and forth between cameras here. I just reprogrammed all my buttons on my Stream Deck, so forgive me if I'm jumping back and forth like a madman. But meantime, as you all know, this was the hot end with the oh gosh, I'm lost at a loss for terms now. But we have that different extruder on here, so it's not the not our standard one. Oh, there we go. Our piece just came off the bed. So look at that, nice, really nice print on that Polymaker ABS here. It'll be better on this one. Doop, doop. Yeah, turned out really nice on the bamboo for ABS. So we'll print all of our skirt parts like this on the bamboo with this color. Okay, so that we're going to be able to put our electrical panel in whichever side I decide to put it on. But for now, I'm going to pop this head off. And you guys tap. Tap what? It's what we're taking off. We're going to take the tap off. Oh, no, the tap. I used the tap on, was it this one? This one had the tap on it prior. There was too many issues with the tap. It kept coming loose. Now, apparently they've made improvements on the tap, all sorts of different improvements. Here, let me, since I'm working kind of this, let me get this camera kind of over my shoulder for you guys. This might be a little easier for you guys to see what I'm doing here. If I just kind of go in like that. There you go. There we are. And then with a light, if I throw a little light on the subject. Hang on a sec. Is this going to make any difference? Oh, a little bit of a difference. There we go. Tap Rev 8. Oh gosh, okay. I think when I had the tap, when I put the tap on this thing, it was the first one or two. It was no more than that because it had just come out. So I guess they've made a lot of revisions since then, obviously. So, but I am a big fan of the beacon probe now. So just number one, it's a heck of a lot faster than tap and click and clicky. Trident's running Rev 8. They're both cooching on 2.4 parts. I think now I know Beacon has a second generation of their probe out, which I don't think I need. I don't know if it makes much difference. Other than the fact that the hot end on my rat rig over there is not working too well, the Beacon probe is working beautiful on it. Okay, here we go. So we just have to unplug a couple things here, making sure I don't. I didn't opt for the pop-off one with the so because I didn't think I'd be taking this apart so much. So top, come on. My LEDs, and then we have our cooling fan, part cooling fan on top. Okay. Okay, so in here, we're going to have to pop this off now. And I think that's as far as I need to take this apart, because I believe the beacon probe mount is going to go up in here like this somehow. Yeah, so that mount is going to, whoop, if I don't drop it on the floor, our beacon probe mount slides right up in here, and the beacon probe is going to attach to the bottom of this, and hopefully my nozzle's low enough after that point. Let's just have a peek and see if it is. See if I can get this without, oh man, I think I'm going to have to unplug those two cables on the side here in order to get this to work properly. I don't want to unplug these because they're a pain in the arse to plug back in, but oh well, there we go. So I'm just going to see if that actually is going to interfere where my nozzle's going. So if I have the beacon probe shoved up there, oh no, we should be fine. There should be lots of clearance for that nozzle. We have the I'm having a brain fart today. Really having a brain fart today. We have that nozzle, that hot end on it, the Revo hot end on it. So, okay, so I need some M3 bolts and M3 screws to put this on. But first, we're going to grab the actual beacon probe out of here. Let me check with chat here. You wish you had the budget to build a Trident just like yours with that beautiful space gray. Ah, the space gray, that's beautiful color. I love this with the orange. I mean, that's great. And those are the ABSs from Polymaker. The colors are phenomenal. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the beacon probe. So we have our cable, which hopefully is going to be long enough to run from here down to our USB on our Pi, which it should be. Okay, put this back up. Later, Ford boy, say hi to wife too. Yeah, I will. See you later, Mark. Say hi to the wife for me as well. Keep on having those Ford dreams, man. Okay, so here's the probe. Probe itself, we'll just sort of give that a little bit of a slice open. There we go. Put that down. So this is going to mount. I just have to make sure that we have clearance for everything coming out of the back, but that's basically going to mount on here. And this will mount in here. And we do have clearance on the back for running that cable up and around into the cable loom. So that's good. That's perfect. So let's go ahead first and we'll mount the probe to the holder here. We've got some screws with it, but I don't know if they're going to be the right length screws or not. We'll see. Here, I'll just move you up to this guy here while we do this. Will do. Okay, Mark. Thank you for popping in. I do appreciate it, Mark. You know that. Okay. It's your fault I'm doing this anyways, right? So you ought to know that. You're the one that created this beast. Okay, I don't believe these are going to fit. No. Why are they countersunk on the bottom here when the probe needs to go like so? So we're going to have to pull out some M3s here and some nuts. So my small ones, my small nuts are on the other side. Okay, let's not go there. Okay, I think we are going to need some M310 cap heads. Let's just see if these will fit. So we go down under there, onto the probe. Probably get away with M3/8s. 8 millimeters. 23 people on. Awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. M3/8 button heads. These should work. Yeah, 8 millimeters is going to be plenty. Plenty, plenty. Now let's see, maybe I can, maybe this overhead cam, there we are, like this. Look at that. And then that way we have the probe and the 2 screws and the pin, and I can actually do this now. Look at that. And then you can have a look. So there's the mount, there's the probe, there's the 2 screws. Is that going to actually focus for that? What are we focused on here? Close that. I don't know if that's focused or not. Hard to tell. My eyes are like not what they used to be. Let's move that back out of the way maybe. Now, there you go. Now you have to focus on this, you little bugger. There we go. I just got to find some little tiny nuts. Bear with me, and I think I'm going to need to go through, where's my floor camera? So I think to go through here with this mount, I'm probably going to need 10s or 12s. Let's just make sure. I may as well get all my nuts out of the way at the same time. So there's a 12. These are already kind of countersunk in here. So there's a 12. I'm babbling, aren't I? Oh, I think 12 is going to be too long. Oh, come on. Let's get in here. Oh, no, 12s will work. Okay. So we'll get a couple of M312s for that. There we go. So we got screws to mount the probe onto the mount, screws to mount the mount onto the hot end. Is this a rebuild of the multicolored Trident? It's a rebuild. Projects in Dad's Garage. This is a rebuild, yes. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Yeah, Jerry, sorry, yesterday I lost I lost Wi-Fi for like a moment or 2 or 3. I had to reboot my my router. So I apologize for that, my friend. And then I just had things to get done. So I just thought, oh, well. And I did comment in chat that I had lost connection. Okay, I got to grab some, I need to grab my tiny nuts here. They're really hard to grip with my fingers because they're so small, too. And I think I'm going to use nylock nuts for putting the mount on the hot end. There we go. So there's my little nuts. So let's give you guys this view. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do is we will put these little M3s through here. We'll mount this onto the beacon probe, like so, and we'll put our little nuts on here. The main thing is that these nuts don't protrude beyond the hot end, which they shouldn't. Okay, so we have that. So let's grab our little tool. I know you guys are going to make fun of this. Okay. Okay, so our probe is securely attached. Awesome. Let's take a drink break. You think I should put Loctite on that, Jerry? I don't think these are going to come through. There's not going to be a lot of vibration, but I will double check them as I go. The other ones I'm going to put nylock nuts on, so they should be okay. I could put nylock nuts on these too, but they stick out, they stick down a little further, and I don't want to have anything impeding with the bed. In other words, everything's got to be above the nozzle, of course. So we'll pull this back. Here, we'll get this back on the floor camera. There we go. Try and get it straight on view here. I think that's in focus too. Yeah, it looks pretty focused to me. But what do I know? So we'll put our M310s in, or M312s in here, like so. And then I'm going to, what I need, I have a hard time holding my nuts in the small gap behind here sometimes, yeah, it's tough because there's not much room for my fingers to fit in. I'm kind of setting myself up for a whole lot of comments, but people are being good. You guys are being really good. Okay, so if I can get this guy, if I can just get one started, I'll be happy. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Nope, can't even get that started. Or did I? Hang on. No, I didn't. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna try. Ah. These nuts, I know. Do I have my little surgeon things? Let's see. I gotta go back to my toolkit here. I have some, somewhere in here, I have some, I don't know what those little 4 snips or 5 snips or whatever the heck you call them. They're really good for holding on to, there they are. These guys. They're really good for holding on to stuff like this. So if I can grip this on the outside, just like this. Now if I can hold that nut in place there, that's going to work. That should work. This is why people edit videos and cut out all this nonsense, but hey. That worked. I always say where there's a will, there's a way. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. There we go. Works really well, actually. Surgeon things. You're going to leave a seat of forceps inside the patient. I might leave a set inside the patient. Hey. Now, if I line up that nut right there. There we go. Now, the trick here is I can adjust this up and down, if I'm not mistaken, to a certain point. I'm going to go to its highest point for now. I need to read and see how much clearance it actually wants. I can only go up so high because of the nuts that are holding it on. So that's as high as it'll go right there. Now I need to hold them nuts so I can tighten them down. And I have just, where are my tools? Where's my little, there they are. I have just the tool for that, some little angled pliers. There's that one. And come on, don't be shy. There we go. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, when you're holding pliers and then they slip and they grip and they pinch your fingers. That hurts. Keep your fingers out of the way, I know. Okay, there we go. There's probe. I put it to the highest point. I may have to lower it. I don't think I will, but we'll see. Looks like we're okay right there. So there's the probe right under there. Okay. Hemostats. Hey, Off Axis, how are you, sir? Haven't seen you in a long time. There will be blood. No, but there was a You can't really see it, but there was a nice little pinch on the tip of this finger. Okay, so that on. Now let's see about schlicking the hot end back on. Let's just see how this will sit. Let's get these wires back. Okay, now, that is very, very, I may have to change those screws. Let me grab a gauge of some sort here. Where is my, there it is. How can you tell this is partially sponsored by LDO Motors? Let me look at my LDO Motors ruler and just see. Yeah, they're too low. So what's going to happen here, those nuts, we got to rethink this. Because those nuts are almost, the nuts that I put on are almost extremely level with the nozzle, or if not, they're a tiny bit lower than the nozzle, which means we're going to have a problem. So I've got to rethink this a little bit. I've got to eliminate those nuts somehow, or I've got to be able to move that probe higher by countersinking the screws that are holding the probe on to the probe holder. So, which is probably the way I'm going to have to do it. 3D printing on Twitch off and again, as well as drone content on Tuesdays. Oh, very cool. Good. You see me weekly on Jerry's stream. Yeah, I try to get on Jerry's stream as much as I can. There have been a lot of days I've missed, unfortunately, but I do get busy times, and Jerry understands that. I get on whenever I can. Okay, so we're going to pop this off, and we're going to see if we can't MacGyver something here to make this work. Okay. So let's pop this probe off. Ideally, I'd like to eliminate, although I don't know how I can do that. Oh, maybe, okay, maybe by putting them on the other way. So what I think I'll do is, instead of having the nuts on the bottom of the probe like this, I think I'll maybe put the button heads on the bottom and the nuts on the top. And that may work better, because the button heads don't stick out as far as the nuts themselves do. So let's do that. And that might give me the room I need. Although I might have a little more. So what I might do is, no, I really can't do much more with that. But then the nuts are going to prevent it from coming up in here. I have to kind of countersink the nuts into this piece. Thank you so much, Marcel. Appreciate that. Where did I put the little guy? Right here. So let's undo this. Hey, Thomas. Mr. Llama. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm sure there's a solution out there specifically for this hot end, for the probe, but I think I can make, no, that's not going to work, because for some reason they've countersunk that part of the mount, which doesn't help me when I'm putting it on to here. Huh. I'd rather have seen the countersink on the other side. But it's the only one I guess I could look and see if there's others out there. But let's just see if I can't. If I drill that out, though, no, if I drill it out, it's going to cause a problem for me. Whereas if I put the button head on this side, that's not so bad. It's almost like it needs, another, this piece reprinted with some holes in the bottom, so that when this comes up, when this comes in here, the bolts that are holding this, the probe to this, can countersink into this. As I say, I'm sure there's an actual solution out there for this, but I'm just, I'm trying not to reprint parts if I don't have to. So we'll figure something out here. Yeah, I love your cutting boards, Lama. I've been seeing your posts about them, and they're beautiful. The work is beautiful. If you guys haven't seen the cutting boards he makes, check them out for sure. If you want to put a link to anything, Lama, go ahead. Okay. So I can't drill that. I'm just going to try it and see. See if this works any better. Putting the button heads through the probe first. This way. Unless, let's just see. Are those square nuts? Are those square nuts? I think the square nuts are thinner. They are. Let's just see. I've got some square M3 nuts here, which look like they might be. They are about 1 millimeter thinner than the hexagons. So let's use the square nuts on here. Because honestly, I don't care what shape my nuts are, as long as they do the job. See you later, Jose. Thank you so much. Jack Black, hello. Joe Galaska, hello. Wow, hello, guys. Okay, you just caught me talking about not caring about the shape of my nuts. So, hey. Threaded inserts. Oh, Dominic, that's a good idea too, actually. Oh, you're a genius. Maybe that's what, you know what, Dominic? I never thought of that. Let me look at that. Dominic. That's why I love you guys on this channel, is you guys are spurting out the ideas for me. Awesome. Yeah, the nuts are too big for what I want to do here. But look, threaded inserts. I wonder if I could fit a threaded insert in there. Let me grab a threaded insert. Where did I put my threaded inserts? There they are. Let's just see. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, now if I thread that in there, oh, that might just work. And you know, it's possible that's what was intended for it anyways. I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw a threaded insert in there. So hold on, bear with me. I have to go over here and get my insert tool. Oh, where'd I put it? Where'd I put my insert tool? Insert tool. You're over here somewhere. I moved it the other day. Oh, there it is, right there. It's right in front of me. Right in front of me. There it is. And let me grab a extension cord. I really need to put a bench plug down here on my bench, so I have a plug here, because the one down there is way too far. Okay, I think there we go. Let's turn this on. But turn you on, you inserter. Oh, baby. There we go. Let's that heat up. Heat that up for sure. I think Dominic, I think that's the suggestion for the win. Hey, Andrew Humphrey. You're not catching on to my jokes, Andrew. Got a belt sander? Nah. There's a printed bracket for the probe mount called. Yeah, there probably is. I've got this bracket, but it's yeah. This will work though. I think the threaded inserts was the answer. Well, we're going to try it anyways. Doing some more catting. Probe retainer bracket. Now, is that on, where did you find that, Cliff? Was that on GitHub, or is that on printables or something? See if I can get this to go in straight. Not quite hot yet, but it's going in. I don't want it to go in too fast because I do not want it to break through the other side. I want it to be countersunk enough. There we go. Oh, not bad. We can fix that. Let me grab another one. Trident STLs. Oh, and I think that's the same piece I have here. I think. There we go. Whoa. Okay, that one popped through way too fast. That's too far. Too far. Can I push you back through a little bit? Yes, I can. And I think that's going to work. Let's just clean this up a little bit here without cutting my fingers off or burning them. I think that might just work. We've got some threaded inserts in there. And that way we're not going to have any, big sticking up on that end. So I think that might just work. So let's let them cool off a bit with the help of my fingers. You finally got a troll on one of your videos. There you go. That's when you know you've made it. Okay, let's move this hot heat source out of the way because it's me. There we go. And so I can probably get away with a lot shorter. Let's put that away. That was an M3.6 I think I was using. I can probably get away with an M3. Oh no, it was an 8 I was using. I can probably get away with a 6. Let's have a look and see. So you're going to go on here this way. Aha. Perfect. Look at that. This might just do the trick. Oh, are we not lined up? Why didn't that not? Oh, I'm a little off, a little crooked. What happened there? What happened there? I think one of them went in a little off kilter. That's okay. We can fix that. Where's the no accident sign? Oh, it's down in the front of my bench. Oh, this is just snug is all because I was, there we go. I was a little bit off kilter. It's down on the front of the bench over here somewhere. It's off camera for now. I've been changing my camera views around. Okay. This should work better. Let's have a look and see if it's going to work better. Okay. So we'll get our doctor tools out again. Where'd I put them? Of course, I didn't put them back where they should go. Don't think I put them back at all. Oh, right there, right in front of me. Right in front of my eyes. Okay. Grab one of our nuts. Okay. And let's throw this on and make sure we get clearance this time, okay? Do we have clearance, Clarence? We have clearance, Clarence. Surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley. What movie? Okay, there. And yes, you are right, Andrew Humphrey. Oh, come on. I swear I've never done this before. Oh, come on. Now I can't grip the nut at all. It's because it's slipping. Washer might increase the bite. Yeah, there's not a lot of room in there. Okay, there's that. If I can just get this nut to find that screw. I think I just got it. Did I just get it? I just got it. Good. Got it. Okay. Just when I'm about to give up, it works. No, I don't give up that easy. Okay. Right about there. Perfect. Okay. So now if we move that all the way up, which it is, before I tighten that up, let's just check clearance on the nozzle this time, shall we? Okay. And that looks better. Not much, but it's better. We've got about 2 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters clearance, which should be plenty because we do want the probe to come pretty close to the bed. So that should be good. About 2.5 millimeters clearance between the probe and the nozzle. The nozzle being 2.5 millimeters closer to the bed. That's plenty. Some may even say it's too little, but I think it's perfect. Now, if I could find my, oh, right there. I was going to say if I could find my nut assistance. And I'm screwing these into nylock nuts, so I don't need to worry about them coming loose. There we go. Okay. Probe attached. Oh, that side's, oh, I'm a little low. I could go a little higher. That seems to be sitting too high. Or too low. I've got a gap in here. I want to eliminate that gap. Oh, you know what I need? Where's that little kit that I got? I think all of you have seen this little kit I got with everything under the sun that you could possibly want in mini screwdrivers and stuff. I'll bet you I'll bet you one of those is big enough to hold that nut for me. Maybe not. Yes, right there. See? What probe? The beacon probe, right there. There's a beacon probe I'm putting on this thing. Right there. And using the right tools for the right job makes a huge difference. So there we go. That'll hold that nut no problem. So if I loosen that off, why pinch my fingers with pliers when I have the right mini tools? There we go. Now I want that up as far as it'll go. That side. And this side. Now, that's better. No more gap. No more gap in here. So that's better. Okay. Why did I decide to rebuild the Trident? Why did I decide to rebuild the Trident? Now, project in Dad's garage, that's a great question. I'm going to be honest with you. Or I'm not. No. I kind of, when I was finished the whole thing, I wasn't a real fan of the color scheme. But that's not what sort of triggered me to tear it apart and rebuild it. I didn't like the color scheme when I was done. I decided I wanted to upgrade the X gantry. I decided I wanted to upgrade the I forget what these things are called. These are the belt tighteners here. I forget what these are called, but we upgraded these things here. And then I also decided I wanted to do some upgrades on the electronics and on the hot end. So I thought, why not just rebuild the whole thing and print it in a nice color, print it in it where I could show off the beauty of Polymaker's Sparkle ABS filaments. So yeah, it didn't have to, but yeah. Bring BFI idlers. Yeah, but there's the name of these idlers. They're called the Ramus. The Ramus idlers. Can you see it on this camera? Yeah, right here. They're the Ramus idlers. They're much easier to work with, much easier to run the belts through, and I just think they look good. They're not as big and bulky as the see the ones the standard ones that were on there before are the ones that are on the 2.4 there, right there. So yeah, I just decided to switch over to those idlers as well. Yeah. So no other real reason. So okay, let's shove the hot end back on. That's what she said. Let's clear, make the wires clear, and yeah, definitely got that. Moving that up that little bit. Yeah, that gave me a good 2 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters clearance there for the nozzle. Now I'm assuming I'm holding this ruler level, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, good clearance there now. Hot pink? No, this is orange. This is orange. Orange. No pink in my builds. Not that I'm aware of. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. Hot end thermistor, hot end heater. So the thermistor goes in this one. Sorry, my head's going to get in the way here. I'm going to let me switch to the overhead because that way my head's not going to get in the way. All I'm doing is just putting the wires back in for the hot end here. So it's either my head in the way or my hands. So, and I always struggle putting these two plugs in for some reason. Big hands. There we go. There's a thermistor. And then we got the heater. Come on. There we go. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Look at that. Actually, I lucked out on that one. Lucked out on that one. Okay, let's go back to this guy. That's a little out of focus. Okay, there we go. Actually, now I got to put the stealth burner back on. That's going to be in the way. Overhead look better? Yeah, let's do the overhead. What the heck? So now I got to plug these little plugs into these little plugs right in the side here. What build size? This is a 250. The 2.4 next to me is a 300. This is a 250 Trident. Okay, so I'm going. I find it easier if I maybe use my little surgeon tools here to help me guide the plugs. There we go. Okay, there's the LEDs. And then this one is the cooling fan, or the, come on. There we go. And then the park cooling fan. I like the other board that you can get where you just unplug the whole board, but I just decided to go old school on this one because I don't plan to take this apart too much. Just make sure these are in, and in. Believe we're good. Make sure there's no wires sticking out. And we are good. And now we will screw it back in. Screw it. Sounded like a war horn when I turned it. Okay, I'm going to cheat. Not that I'm lazy, but you can call me that if you want. This is a handy tool, I tell you. This is one of my favorite tools. As long as you know how to self-torque so you don't over-tighten something. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful tool. Okay. And then I'll just sort of confirm by hand that we're snug enough. Okay, and okay, and okay. Okay. So the probe is mounted. Let's turn this thing a little bit sideways. And now I've yet to plug in the extruder motor because I may have to shorten those cables, but that's okay. I just want to get the probe kind of run. Now the probe should, let's just see. Hopefully I got enough room here to plug this in. I should. You can't really see anything with that angle there. Let me just do this. It's going to get jumpy for a minute. I'm sure you'll forgive me. And if I bring this up a little bit, there we go. And then bring it down a little bit. And then if I focus it, look at that. So right here is where we're going to plug the probe in, and we're just going to sort of just scoot it up, and it's going to join the drag chain that's going to be going up here. So we will gently and ever so carefully plug that in. And then I will just use a zip tie up here just to give it a bit of strain relief. But I need to I need to kind of run the cable chain now. And so that is all going to run down along with this bundle. These ends both the same they are, it doesn't make a difference. So this is going to come in here. Like so. So these are going to join it. And then I believe there was one more which was going to control, or was that for the old probe? I'm trying to remember why I had one more cable running down there before. Might have been for the LEDs, this top plug. Anybody remember what that top plug is for on here? It's the one right, this guy right here. So we have our wire bundle plugging in here. Then we have another one up top. And I think that was for the, I believe that was for the old clicky probe. No, it says LED. That may be running the LED lights. Okay, so if that's the case, I should have a wire. If that's the case, I should have a wire over here for that particular use. Let me just put my nuts away before I spill them. How much taller is the Trident versus the two? They're about this. Actually, the Trident, it's about exactly the same height. If you kind of see, actually, if I switch to this camera, this is the two running here with the yellow in the back, and this is the Trident. Trident is on the one bench. There's about a ½ an inch offset on my benches here. So if this were down on the same bench as the 2.4, they're about the same height. Matter of fact, I would hinder a guess that they're exactly the same height, give or take a millimeter or 10. You finished your Trident V0 at Christmas and used Polymaker Galaxy Dark Gray. Yeah, that's a great filament. It's beautiful. So many nuts. Yeah, I put all my nuts away, and I have a few loose bolts here too. So I'm gonna put some loose bolts away too. So I'm gonna close that up so I don't spill my nuts and bolts. Okay, so I'm gonna find the wire. I'm gonna find the wire for that one LED plug. I've still got a lot of wires left over from when I took it apart, so they're all spares. Yeah, that's what they are. No, they've all got a use, and we'll get them going. It's kind of a mess here. There's the old hot end I had on it. I had an old Fadius hot end on it. I call it old, but it's a good hot end. And I just need to find that one wire. That's my LED strips. I've got to put my LED strips on here yet, so which is fine. It's got a little bit of building to go on this yet. So, and XYN stop. Got to run that one up here yet. So that's got to run down that wire loom, which is, I believe, coming out of, oh, the other side. Yeah, anyways. And there it is there. There's my LED light. One right here. Why is one so much shorter? I do not know. But that's the one for the LEDs. Okay, so that one we're going to run up there. And then we have our, we'll worry about that later. That's for the ADXL, for the resonance testing. That's for our power supply, which we're going to put in. This one was not using this anywhere. That was for the tap. That's when I had the Voron tap. That's the wire I used for the tap. This little guy, ABL probe, that was for the probe, which we never used. And this little guy is for the filter fan. That's on the back of it. I don't know if we're going to enclose this, so we may not need that. So there we go. Okay. And then we got a couple other little wires in here that are just for the main board when we get to finalizing the wiring on the main board. Okay, so let's back you up a little bit here. There we go. Did you ever get the nozzle effects working? We just set it up on Steve's stream. I don't know what that is. The nozzle effects. I'm not sure. I missed Steve's streams today. Brian says he has a 350 2.4 and wanting to build a Trident, but you're torn between 250 and 300. I would say, I don't know. You've got a 350, which will handle anything 300. 250 is smaller, so it's less bed to heat. So, yeah. I wish I had a 350. Oh, I wish I had a 350. I would probably get rid of my 500 rat rig. My 500 rat rig is just a nightmare for me right now, for many reasons. But we'll get in. We won't talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So then we will also go ahead and, oh, sorry, I got this thing way out of whack here. You guys don't need to be focused, do you? Focusing is way overrated. And then we'll plug this guy into the side here. That'll be the LED wire coming off of that. And now, where is my XY end stop on? Hang on a minute here. Let me think. What am I missing here? Oh, man. I'm getting my two printers mixed up. Just give me a second here. These wire looms can hang down. These things are going to run down the drag chain. And I need to plug in. Did I not? Ooh. Something's not right on that bed. Sorry, I'm having a squirrel moment here on the bed. Oh, maybe we're okay. Sorry, I just had to check something out under there. Oh, for the rainbow LED, no, I didn't. That was on the 2.4, and I haven't got that to work. Never did. I gave up on it, just threw a regular LED in it, and the LED is still not working the best, but it's not affecting the functioning of the printer, so I'm not overly worried about it. I'm just trying to see what I am missing here. Okay, I think I've forgot to put something on. Where are we at? We're at 6:09. Oh, I got another half hour. It's only going to go for an hour and a half tonight. Let me have a look at something. I need to have a look at something here real quick. Oh. Oh, bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm getting slow. Okay, so I need to find a manual here. Just give me 1 second. And bear with me an uno momento, por favor. There's what I'm looking for right here. Come on. Right there. And right here. I just have to check something out real quick. I think I forgot to put something on. Not my clothing or something like that, but I think I forgot to put something on the printer. But I have to double check to make sure I'm not confusing it with the 2.4. I'm doing too many builds lately. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, there's the... I'm looking for my end stops. I'm having a brain fart right now is what's happening, to be honest with you. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tessa. I hope everything's okay. Welcome back. I'm just checking my build manual. I think I've overlooked something here, or either that or I'm having a major brain fart here. So just bear with me. I'm looking. Why am I not? Oh man, this is just too embarrassing if it's something I'm not even thinking of. I'm not finding my end stops, my X and Y end stops. Now maybe, as we have them. I think I've been dealing with too many different printers lately, and I'm confusing parts with other parts. Yeah, no, I was sure I had sent. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Tessa. I had an issue with a brother in October out of stubbornness. I had a brother pass away because he wouldn't go to the hospital. My older brother. So in October. So I feel you, man. I really do. It's easy to get confused. I know. Like, okay, do I not have X and Y end stops on this thing? I must. I have to. They're not sensorless. I'm pretty sure I had sensors. I had end stops, but what I'm missing is where they are. Or am I confusing this with my 2.4? And are these sensorless? Because my 2.4 has end stops. I'm just very, very confused right now. And did I miss putting them on? That's my main concern. Let me look through my parts and see. See, I don't see them. Jumpers on the main board. Well, let me check the Voron wiring, the LDO wiring in here, and let me just see what it's telling me about end stops. Because I have an end stop wire, like I have a wire right here that says XY stop. And I'm pretty sure there was a piece that goes on under here that is the X and the Y end stop, and I think I just didn't put it back on. I'm positive I didn't put it back on. So I'm obviously missing something. Let me just have a quick look here. And it's probably a piece I didn't reprint, which is probably why I'm missing it. I know there's a piece that goes on under here, and it takes both stops. And this wire is for both X and Y end stops. And basically it triggers and it triggers. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm missing a piece. Yeah, I do have my XY end stop plugs on here. So if I look down at the board, and it's the ones that are going to the little daughter board here, and we do have an X end stop and a Y end stop plugging in here. So there's definitely, I'm missing the, oh man, I forgot what it's called. And man, I can't believe I would have missed reprinting that piece. It's not like it's a big deal to print that piece that goes on there, but it's just bugging me that I missed that. Like, let me just have a quick peek here. Yeah, it's right, but why am I not seeing it in the, yeah. So on the, if I go to the display, it's right there. It goes on the bottom of that side. That's the piece right there. And it is called, you know, those are my LEDs, and no, that's the other pieces I've got to print there is my LED mounts. I'm trying to see, because if I'm not mistaken, parts guide, printed parts guide, revision A, revision C. And if I'm not mistaken, the part I need is called an XY end stop right here. I believe this is the part right there that I'm looking for. Yeah, this part right here. And it goes underneath the gantry on the operators on the port side. Port side. So it's either that one or, let's see, I've got it printed. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, it's right here. I am missing this piece. That's the piece I'm missing. Damn. Always something. But where are my switches must be somewhere then. My switches must be somewhere. It's what I get for working on 3 or 4 projects at once, right? There's my old Z end stop switch, which I don't need. There's my old connector, the old stepper motor. Not in there. So there's 2 switches that are on this. So let me go over here. I got another bag of stuff over here. It's great to be human and forget all this stuff, right? Oh, there it is. I didn't. Ah, okay. There we go. There's the piece. There's the piece that I was looking for. I just haven't put it on. But where are my switches? Where are the switches that go on it? That's what I need to find. There's two micro switches that are going to go on this. So we've got the piece printed. I'm going to either have to find those or I'm going to have to buy a couple switches for this. Excuse me. This is a mess. I mean, this is embarrassing. Ridiculous. Hey, DBR. Night's going good so far, other than I can't find a piece. A critical piece to this printer. I thought I was organized when I took this thing apart. I found the printed piece, but I need to find the switches that go in there. There's my old Pi board, and I do still need to print the LED mounts. No, they're right there. Actually, the old one's on here. It's in blue filament. I'm going to reprint that. I got to reprint that. I can't leave that in blue. Forget that. It's a PCB. Yeah, it's a PCB, but where? Where the heck? That's my old Raspberry Pi Zero. And it's not there. It's just I'm guilty of being disorganized sometimes and losing parts and stuff. So let me just look over. Hang on. Hang on. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Aha, I think I found it. I think I found it. I believe this is the beast I'm looking for right here. Yes, it is. And this beast goes... Whoa! This beast goes on here. Just like so. Aha! We found it. But, yeah, and I totally forgot to put that on. I mean, come on, Tim. How embarrassing is that? Now, does that self-tap in there? I believe it does. With two M3, looks like M3.6s. Okay, perfect. Found it. Oh, man. I'm so sorry, Tessa. She wouldn't let you call it. And see, my brother's wife wouldn't let her call an ambulance. My brother wouldn't let his wife call an ambulance. And of all the things, it was pneumonia, and it could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Okay, let's see. Are these the right ones? Those are probably a bit too long. M3.6s, I think, will be fine. Although those holes seem a little big. But I think we'll be okay. And I do believe those just self-tap in there. Okay. There we go. I'm just winging this. I'm not even looking at a manual. I'm just assuming, I'm just common sense tells me this is how this goes on. And then I'll maybe have to cheat to see. I know this mounts under here on the starboard side. Is there starboard? I know it's not a boat, but can I still call it port, bow, stern, starboard, and port side? There we go. That's the piece we were missing. Yay! And that's where this cable plugs into. Yay! Okay, so let's figure out where under here it goes. Let's see what we can do here. It goes under here somewhere. I can lower this. Just like that. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to go. I may have to cheat. I may have to look at the manual. But I'm almost positive it goes in right there. Right there. Yeah. Oh no, maybe, oh, maybe that's it right there, because it seems to fit better. I don't know. I got to cheat and look at the manual. Runs clipper and it's kind of a boat. Okay. Let's have a look at the manual. I'm just not 100% sure the which holes those go in. Whoops. Where's my Acrobat? There's my Acrobat. Okay, so we have the page. Okay, hang on. I'm right on the page anyways. So there's the page. And then that goes under M330s. Okay, so that's the one. We got the whole PCB board, but that's okay. That one, and then it goes under into. It's exactly where I thought. Okay, M330s into those two holes there, into those spare holes, which are right on this on the port starboard bow, start parts on the one side. I think it's at M330s. 30s? Really? That seems long. Let's see if I can get away with 25s. Those holes need cleaning. 25. Oh no, because it's got to go into the linear rod thing. So I do need 30s. Okay, I know. Follow instructions. Let's see, M3. Oh, I have tons of M330s. Thank goodness. Okay, I do need to go ahead though and clean out that one hole. Where's my 3mm drill? Right there. So we're just going to kind of ream this through and make sure that we have good. There we go. Much better. Okay. Okay, and that's my blue-handled buddy. Which is this guy. And so this should unos and come on, there we go. Okay, and this one. Aha, there we go. That kind of answers the end stop question, doesn't it? There we go. So now we have a, although that's not hitting it. I have to push this out further. Let's see. No, we're not coming over far enough on the X. Oh, that's because I have that different how about the Y? Oh, I'm obviously missing something here that these things have to. Yeah, see, I'm totally brain farting here. I am totally brain farting here. Yeah, see what I get. Let me go back to the manual real quick. It's been too long since I built this thing. Yeah, there's an actual piece that I'm probably either I did print or I'm missing or I'm just so. There looks like there's a piece there where the Y end stop is going to hit and connect to, and then I'm going to have to find where the X end stop is going to connect. But I'm obviously missing a piece right there. A bumper, a Y bumper. Anyways, who knew? Let's see if I printed it. That might be it. Nope. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go through and look at the pieces again. Yeah, I definitely don't have those pieces. So I'm missing a couple pieces there. Anyways, we're almost at time anyways. We did manage to get the beacon probe on. And we've got our X and Y stop on. We had fun tonight, didn't we, guys? I'm going to probably do the wiring on the for the motor and do that off camera and shorten it, because I've got to basically just shorten these wires. Where's my nippers? Because these just basically plug in right up here. And there's no need for these things to be so long. And then I also got to make sure that I don't have to change any wire orientation on these, which might be something I have to do. Double check, but I think it's just straight in the way it is, but that's way too long, considering it's just going to plug in right under this guy here. So, yeah, a little bit more progress. Our print over here is coming along really good. Any ideas? Do you guys have any ideas? You guys ever... I'm going to try and salvage the 2.4 with the clicky probe that's on it, but it's just very frustrating when I start a print and I can't, and it gets the probe error, and the exact error it gives me. I took a picture of the error. Let's see how many people are still tuned in here. Oh, we still have 31 people. The exact error, and as I say, some people on Facebook helped me out, which is great, and I tried a few of their suggestions. It says probe sample exceeds sample's tolerance. And right there, the extruder not hot enough thing is just nothing to do with it, really, because it probes at 157 degrees. But yeah, so over and over, probe sample exceeds sample's tolerance. And so I've changed the tolerances, I've changed the number of samples it takes, and I still get the error. So, but I'll keep working on it. I'll keep looking for answers. But in the meantime, as you can see, it is printing the job that was critical for me to print. So that's really that's really what matters the most here. So, but I went in and I can show you real quick here. If you're interested. Too bad if you're not. I'm going to show you anyway. I'm sorry, guys. But under this is where I've gone and changed things under my printer config. Can I make this a little bigger for you? Let's see. Control plus. Make it a little bigger. So under the printer config, where I've gone is I've gone under the probe section in here. Extruder and bed heater and probe. So I lowered my samples to 3. Okay, that was 5. I lowered my tolerance to 004. It was 007. Okay. And sample tolerance retries, I increased from 2 to 5. So it'll at least try it 5 times before it fails. And I figure if it probes only 3 samples and probe versus 5 samples gives it a higher risk of failure. So I figured the lower the samples, yeah, the less accurate it'll be, but how much accurate is that going to be when we have a tolerance of 004 millimeters? So this is where I've gone in and changed to try and get it to work there. It's helped it a little bit. It allowed me to start this particular print job, but it's still giving me the issues. So there's still something going on as far as that clicky probe goes. The other thing that was suggested to me was possibly a faulty switch on the clicky probe. So, but I don't think I have a spare switch like that lying around. So, yeah. Likes. I see, oh, my stream is frozen when I look at that, but if I refresh it, I see 25 likes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, everybody. 31 watching, 25 likes, but I don't think that's 31 watching continuously or, all at the same time. Yeah. So anyways, that's sort of what I'm dealing with is where else in here, or if it is a problem in here, as far as how I have my probe settings set up in here. As I say, I changed them a little bit, and it did seem to help by lowering the number of samples it did to reduce the risk of error. So, but I don't know anywhere else in here if I can make any changes that will affect it, because I even went into the clicky probe config. Nothing in here I can touch. I went into the clicky macros config. I don't think there's anything in here I can touch that's going to help my issue there. No. So it's a frustrating issue, but that's why I said, you know what, I like to, you know, auto Z config. There should be nothing in here that affects that. No, that's nothing to do with the bed mesh or the quad gantry level. So running out of ideas, I said I kind of, oh, and then there's a clicky bed mesh calibrate. And again, there's nothing in here that I can change. It's going to affect what it's doing. So that's why I said, that heck with it. I'll just get another beacon probe and we'll put a beacon probe on it. And once I get the beacon probe on the Trident all set up, I should have a good idea of how that's going to work on the 2.4, because it should work very similar. So yeah, that's a faulty switch too. And I wonder if increase it to 100 or see if the software hardware. Yeah, you know, that's the thing, is to do that. Speed it up just a bit. I did speed up the probing speed, come to think of it. I'm glad you said that. That's the other thing I did. If I go back in here, and I believe it was under the printer config, and I believe it was under the probe. Bed heater probe. Speed, yeah, that was at 10, and I sped it up to 15. I could speed it up to 20. And what that's going to do is that's going to speed like boom, 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 how fast. And so I sped it up thinking, okay, it's not going to have time to, it's just the way I think. It's not going to have time to error out. And, you know, it seemed to work a little bit. Speed it up a bit. You said that twice. What do you want me to speed up my thinking? You want to speed up how fast I talk? Is that what you want me to speed up? Or you're talking about speeding up the probe when it probes samples? Yeah. And Teza, yeah, that's the other suggestion that the Facebook group said is that a faulty switch or a loose switch, because really you think about it, if there's any play in that switch, it's such a low tolerance that any little bit of play in that switch or shake or jumble or rumble in that switch is going to cause different readings as it hits the bed, right? So if there's a little play in the switch, it just depends on how it hits it. So go both ways, speed it up and slow it down. Yeah. I'm going to try some more. I haven't ordered another beacon yet, and I just don't have the funds to order a beacon yet, but I will. And as I say, I'm going to have the knowledge of how to set the beacon up on this one, and I've already set the beacon up on the rat rig over there, so I can just basically go by the config files there. And Beacon on their site does have config files for Clipper for the beacon. So yeah, that's, and I think I got my backup water here. So, but I'll try it a bit more. But as I say, I'm super happy that I'm going to be able to get this print delivered to my customer tomorrow, and it's coming along really well since we started the stream. We've got this much done. I don't know if you remember, if you were at the beginning of the stream, how much was done, but whoops, there we go. Come on, camera. But there's how much we got done. And it looks like it's about another, we're still on infill layers. I believe it's got about another 2 or 3 millimeters in height to go on this for what it is. It's, yeah. And we got great bed adhesion on it. And that is running, that is Arion Ultra Silk filament, Ultra Silk Gold. So, same bracket you just installed. Did you check the mounting bracket on the hot end is tight? Yes, I did. Same bracket you just installed on the Trident 2.4. Yours came loose over time and caused same errors on and off. Actually, I didn't check. What I didn't check was the, let me switch back over to this. I didn't check the little bracket that attached onto the hot end this way. I checked the clicky probe mount was tight, but I will do that. I'll take the hot end off. I'll take the stealth burner off and take the hot end off and make sure that bracket inside is tight. I didn't check that. So that's a good thing to check as well. I just search Arduino for bounce error. Okay. Faster and not necessarily more accurate. Yeah, yeah. Well, I suppose so. I haven't really. It probes the 500 millimeter bed of the rat rig extremely fast. Like we're speaking under a minute for 2 probes back and forth, which is really fast. But I haven't really been able to get a successful print on the rat rig yet because there's issues with the hot end. I got to change out the hot end, and I may change out the extruder. I may end up putting. I've got an orbiter here, so I may end up putting this on the rat rig. We'll see. I haven't decided. I haven't had time to work on the rat rig a lot lately with everything that's been going on with that prototype printer and stuff. But I do definitely need to see. I think there's a piece I need to print for the Trident for my Y-end stop, and then my X-end stop is not quite hitting where it should here, but that's not a big deal. That's easy. That's an easy fix. So we'll figure all that out. But anyways, a little bit beyond where I wanted to go tonight. I've got a few things I got to get going to, so I want to thank everybody for being here tonight and appreciate all the help and all the tips. I am going to check, John, that that mount and make sure that that is tight in there. That's one thing I did not check. And yeah, that any little bit of wobble this way is going to make the same difference as well, because your switch is not going to be hitting straight on if it's on that slightest. It doesn't take much, right? Because it's very, very, very tight tolerance. So key bounce 2. One of the reasons is you don't like the spring steel actuators on most micro switches. Was referring to your comment. If I did it faster, it wouldn't have time to error. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean, Teza, by that. Okay. Faster, not necessarily more accurate. Okay. Maybe slower. Maybe if I probe slower, it'll be more accurate. I'll try that. So anyways, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody being on. I will be back on a more regular basis now that the holidays are over and I'm feeling a whole lot better from the pneumonia. And yeah, everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday. We'll continue on. I'm going to try and do some stuff off camera now that I have a little bit more time on my hands, and holiday and a lot of things that were going on are behind me. So thank you very much, and we will catch all of you guys the next time. Have a great week, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.